Kirk Youngie here from LearningGolf.tv. Today talking about the biggest mistake that I see in people trying to use the single plane golf swing. And it's every school that I teach, there's at least a couple people making it, and it really restricts your ability to hit great golf shots, not only to become accurate, but especially for distance. And both work hand in hand, as I'm going to talk about in this video. And I think it should be pretty logical to you, but you've been sold over the years that I've been involved with this concept of over 23 years now of people being taught that they need to keep the trailing heel flat on the ground or the feet flat through impact, when in fact no successful golfer has ever played that way. A number of people have tried to copy the swing of Mo Norman, as I did in the past as well, and trying to keep the foot flat is not what he did in his prime. He had actually, the foot was nowhere near flat through impact. It was actually on the inside, so you could see the entire backside of his foot was off the ground. The inside stayed in contact, but it was never flat, and he was never known as a long hitter, averaging about 230 to 235 yards off the tee, where the long hitters in that day were hitting at about 270 to 280. He was extremely accurate, and he had his own compensation for standing an extreme distance from the golf ball, which was to drop down into the legs with the bent left knee, and he kept that foot, the inside of the trailing foot, in contact with the ground. But to see people copying that, it's really sad because of not only the loss of distance, but you'll never hit enough golf shots to learn this compensation to hit the ball solidly or to get to a good impact position. Over many years, I realized that this was the biggest thing that was holding people back. If you are allowed to move the club in such a way that your feet can naturally respond to the swing and help you produce speed, just like you were going to throw a ball, I would have you do this. If you pick up a couple golf balls, or it could be a baseball, I'd like you to try to throw it and keep your feet planted. So keeping the feet planted would look like this. And then let the feet move naturally. You see the ball went about 30 to 40% farther because I was able to push and use my legs and use the ground to generate speed. I would also challenge you to try to shoot a basketball without pushing with your legs. So keep your legs bent and try to shoot a ball. So it would look kind of like this, as opposed to pushing off the ground. Obviously, it makes it a lot easier to accomplish. If you're going to skip a stone on water, would you keep the foot flat? If you're going to hit a tennis ball, it doesn't matter what the sport, you would never try to keep your heel down. And golf is no different. If we want to get to a good impact position, we need to see that we're able to turn through the shot. On an iron shot or wedge shot, it may be because the need for speed isn't as great that the heel would be less off the ground. If you look at the best players hitting the ball far, and you'll see that the heel is coming off the ground before impact. And my basic concept is it should not be restricted. I see people with their feet on the ground and they're here, and people teaching the swing with the heel on the ground, they're all the way up here in their finish, and it looks like that, which is ridiculous. So I see people coming to my schools and they're hitting the ball so short, and as soon as I get them working on allowing it to come up, I mean, they're absolutely thrilled. In my schools, usually the first day, they're absolutely thrilled that they're hitting the ball 30 yards farther with more accuracy just by letting that happen. So please don't restrict that. If you have been doing it for a long time, don't despair. I did it myself, and I lost a ton of distance and even injured my shoulder from trying to swing fast and keep the heel down. If we can turn through it with the body, there's going to be a lot less stress on your joints. And all I would have you do in practicing this, I have a complete learning program on my website at learninggolf.tv, and My swing called Setup for Impact is the easiest single plane golf swing that you can learn, simply because it's customizable for every individual golfer. Instead of trying to copy what another person did and his compensation for standing so far from the ball, I have you find your distance from the ball where you don't have to move down in order to hit a good shot. We also don't want to be so close that we have to move away. So we're trying to find the position where we can remain level through the shot without restricting the foot or feet and legs, trying to maintain a bent position well past impact. So I would have you practice, and in my drills what we do is simply, once I'm getting you set up, is that we're practicing to make this motion through impact. And you can see you're not going to hit it thin or top it because of this, because it's not lifting my upper body off the ground. The lifting of the heel, as many people have tried to sell you, does not raise the club up in the air at all. So I can turn my hip. It's not pulling the club up in the air. What it is doing is helping my hips turn, which helps me to get the grip leading the club head through impact, which is what we want to do. When we restrict it like this, when we restrict it, what ends up happening is people flip with the hands. So when working with the drills, it's just learning to get to the impact position. So I try to get the body, and that's what I teach in the schools, get the body to the impact position before the club gets there. So all the drills are teaching you how to make great impact on every shot, starting with short shots first. So if I was going to hit a short shot from my setup position, I would just do this. And I can see here the heel's working a little bit off the ground. The leading leg is straightening through impact. It's not straight at impact, but it is straightening. And this is going to give me the best use of ground forces. So then I might make a little bit more swing. That's my half swing and ball striking drill 2. And so when I make a full swing, it's also the same timing, just back and through. No restriction, get more distance and accuracy. That's straight every time. Please visit learninggolf.tv for more information on my online learning program, my upcoming 3-day schools, and private lesson info. Please subscribe here on YouTube, like this video, and all comments are appreciated. Thank you very much, and have a great day.